Disney is making another Toy Story sequel, but I still think it's a problem. This isn't going to be one of those videos where I just bash Disney for milking nostalgia. The truth is a little bit more complicated than that, because as much as fans, myself included, get frustrated by endless sequels, I also completely understand why Disney does it. Look, as much as we want fresh ideas, the numbers don't lie. Frozen 2, Incredibles 2, and Toy Story 4 each made over $1 billion, and that's despite mixed reactions from the fans. So if you're a giant studio and you have the option between making a new risky idea or releasing another guaranteed $1 billion sequel, it's not hard to see which way the scales tip. This is why Disney sequels and remakes consistently outperform their originals in the box office. And this isn't just a Disney problem, it's a kind of an audience problem as well. Disney has said it themselves. Fans say that they want new stories, but then they don't show up for them. Whether it's an animated original or a brand new live action concept, chances are it's not going to match the financial success of something like Frozen 3. But here's the thing, I think part of the problem is how Disney approaches its originals. Too often they play it safe. There's also this strange philosophy in modern Disney animations where they avoid having strong physical villains. Instead, the story often focuses on internal struggles, misunderstandings, or environmental challenges. And don't get me wrong, they can work beautifully. Soul and Encanto are proof of that. They were heartful, meaningful, and show that Disney's no clear villain philosophy can lead to something great. But just because that approach works sometimes doesn't mean you should always stick to it. Some of the best Disney films have iconic villains. Lotso from Toy Story 3 is the perfect example. Cruel, manipulating, and unforgettable. He didn't just make the movie better, he gave it weight. Without him, Toy Story 3 would not have hit as hard as it did. And that's my issue with Toy Story 5 or Frozen 3. These sequels risk diluting the emotional impact of the originals. Toy Story 3 gave us the perfect ending. Andy's farewell was a moment that stayed with people for over a decade. But now the more you stretch that story, the more that ending loses its power. Instead of giving us something new to love, it feels like Disney stuck rewrapping old gifts and hoping we'll be happy to open them again. Yes, these sequels make money, but at what cost? Disney risks becoming known less as a creative leader and more as a company that milks its franchises until there's nothing left. It's a short-term gain with potential long-term damage to the brand. And here's the thing, I'm not naive. I know that this is very complicated. Soulless sequels do make money. That's a fact, and it's also a fact that every time Disney chooses the safe route, they chip away the magic people once associated with their name. If I could give Disney one piece of advice, it would be this. Take more creative risks, but do it smartly. You don't have to spend $200 million to make something amazing. Invest in smaller budget experimental films where you can actually explore creativity without the crushing pressure of $1 billion return. Take Wish Dragon on Netflix, reportedly made for around $20 million, and yet it was visually stunning, heartfelt, and full of personality. There are countless other examples of low-budget films that blow audiences away. That's the kind of creativity Disney needs more of. And while we're on the topic of audiences, let's be honest with ourselves. Fans say they don't want reboots, sequels, or remakes, but when studios make them, we still show up. The soulless remake of The Lion King is the perfect example. Fans complained about it having no souls, no magic, but it still pulled in over $1 billion. And the same goes for most of Disney's remakes of classic animated films. The reality is that studios will always follow the trends that make money. People like you and I can act high and mighty and criticize Disney for making soulless nostalgia bait. We're also the same people who walk into theaters, buy popcorn and give them our money. I'm not saying we should stop doing that. This isn't me telling you to boycott anything. This is just an observation. Studios' behavior will always reflect the audience's behavior. But for now, this is it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, it's time for a goodbye.